fucking hate diesel. Fuck off. Onto the rear axle. My original plan was to make my own subframe up that utilises the original 106 mounts, them four there, and then use MX5 control arms and diff. But looking at it, there's a little bit of size difference, so I think it'll be a lot easier just to graft the existing subframe onto the boot floor somehow. But obviously I've got to make it strong enough so it doesn't rip the floor out. So that's today's task. This is where things start getting a bit tricky and I've got to do a bit of maths. So I've got to work out my width between the 6 mounting points on each side of the subframe and work out the width of the boot floor, where it's going to mount, and then I've got to measure. So the width of the boot floor inside to inside is 1075. The width of the subframe outside to outside is 870. So minus that gives you that, divided by 2 because it's each side, gives you 102.5 mil. So I'm going to measure from the inside of the arch 102 mil each side, and then that should give me my width of the subframe where it's going to land. So this black line here is my outline for my box section subframe that I'm going to weld to the actual car. That'll give me my strength, and then the subframe will bolt to that welded in box section frame. Just trying to work out my strut tower height for the rear. Gets a bit tricky here, so what I'm going to actually have to do is measure the uncompressed length of the two rear struts and then make some kind of weird jig up to hold them in place and try not to kill myself, and then put them under the car and then lower the car onto them so they compress, and then measure my compressed rate, and then that should give me a weird calculation for the rear strut towers in the back. Wherever they'll land, I don't know. As long as I get them close, I should be alright, because I'll get adjustable coilovers at some point. I think what I'll probably end up doing as well is having a brace which comes off this subframe here, and I'll attach it to the floor and the bulkhead. So I'll weld a spreader plate on the other side of this, and then have a brace coming from there to there, and I might even tie it into here as well. Pretty much done on the exhaust manifold. I've had to order a couple of little elbows on the manifold, and then I've made this little downpipe up here off the first silencer. I didn't get any footage of me making the exhaust because I hate doing exhausts. So it goes silencer in the engine bay, flexi, another silencer, and then straight out the back into a nice little outward roll tip.